Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Alpha Live here. We are moving on with our Caldari side of the series, and yes, we are back to frigates, and for some of those that have been following the series so far, yes, we are doing the Sisters of Eve Epic Arc, and we're going to be running it in a Caldari Navy Hookbill, a beautiful Hookbill. I know for a lot of people it doesn't look pretty, but I don't know. There's just something about it that I kind of like, especially with this skin. So, yeah, let's move on to how are we going to be running it, what are we going to be running, and why it's important to fit it in this particular way. Now, let's move on really fast to the fit itself. So, I'm going to get this over here. So, we are actually going to be starting up the feed with 3 Arbalest compact light missile launchers. Why? Because they give us really good damage. They also give us really good range. And the main great thing about missiles is that we can actually change the damage type that we are going to be making to the enemy NPCs. And I have found through my playthrough that a lot of rats you will be able to take down with only one missile as long as you have the proper damage type installed. And well, I didn't really use that many different, so I used Scourge missiles and Milmer missiles. I would recommend you bring along around 300 of them, but you have to consider that you will loot a few hundreds of the rats that you will be killing if you're looting them at all. So, after that, we're going to be moving on to a 1MN YS8 compact afterburner. Why compact? Because the CPU is a little bit tight. You could try to fit an enduring one, and I would definitely recommend it because we're not gap stable. Next up, we go to a small compact PV acid cap battery because it's cheap and helps us with that capacitor status. Next, an enduring multispectrum shield hardener, mainly because we're going to be facing off against some drone rats, and they do mainly electromagnetic damage. So we want to have that a little bit covered and help us get better resistances all the way around. Then a small shield extender tech 2 to get that 4000 DHP, just so that it can help us survive a little bit easier all this stuff that we're going to be encountering. And finally, a small clarity ward enduring shield booster, wide enduring one, so that it doesn't consume as much capacitor. Then for the low slots, just 2 ballistic control systems tech 2, and in the rigs, 2 small processor overclocking unit 1s. I'm going to show you why just in a minute, and 1 small capacitor control circuit, again to help us with that cap stability situation. Now, this is going to be a very important part of the fit. Let's go to our cargo hold, and you might see, yes, I have some missiles, I have some rockets, also some Tech 2 rockets, and I have a Tech 2 rocket launcher and 2 expanded cargo holds Tech 2. Ignore the metal scraps, those don't count. So, why are we going to be using the expanded cargo holds, and I'm going to simulate the fit for this part? Well, there is a mission that requires us to have 150 cubic meters of cargo hold space, and I have seen that if you are looting a little bit of stuff, well, you don't exactly are able to fit it with only one cargo hold, expanded cargo hold. So I like bringing 2 of them so that I can loot a little bit here and there and still have everything else in my cargo hold and not worry about that at all. Now let's unfit this and let's get us the old low slot fits. You know what? Let's exit the simulation. Let's simulate again. And we are actually going to change it up because in one of the almost final missions, which I have gotten to, some of you might already know the Dagon fight. Of course, we're going to use the long-range missile launchers for the majority of the Epic Arc, but for the Dagon fight, we are actually going to be using our 3 rocket launchers too. Why? Because they give us astonishingly good damage with 600 rockets. Let's see if they are enough to take him down. Hopefully they are, and so we get 181 DPS, which should be more than enough to take Dagon out. And of course we have the Nova Rage rockets because we want to do explosive damage. So that's going to be our main point. And yeah, let's actually switch the fit up. Close. So let's actually switch our fit because some of you will be able to see that I am already in the Dagon fight. I have completed most of the epic arc, and I am now in the Dagon fight. Although, before you guys watch that fight, I actually am going to show you one other fight that is always kind of interesting to me, so that, well, you guys aren't like, where did this fight come from? Because it's an NPC that's going to be capacitor neutralizing you, and just so that you guys see how easy it is to run. Now, let's go see that recording, and after that, we will be able to move on to the Dagon fight. So, once again, we are in the Kristen Parthos fight. Starting out the fight, pretty much, I have just taken some of his little friends down, and, well, we are going to have to take down a few more of them. But this will be to make a little bit of a comparison, you know, so that we can take a good look at how each of the different Navy frigates that we have been using run this epic arc and its missions. So this is one of the harder fights, some people would say. I'm going to actually orbit this guy at, well, I think farther. I think we can orbit him at 20. And just get away from him because he is going to be capacitor neutralizing us. So that's a bit of a problem, and even though he does quite a good amount of damage right now, he's still cap disrupting us. So he's going to be, cap neutralizing us. So he's going to be taking capacitor out from us, but once we are in orbit under his guns, we shouldn't really have much of a problem, and that's the magic of missile launchers. I'm going to turn off the shield booster now because, well, we got the alarm from the capacitor, and he's going to continue to drain us. We don't really need it for the missile launchers. We need it for the Afterburner and the shield modules that we are using. But other than that, we shouldn't have much of a problem. Of course, I am not using the best damage that we could be using for this guy, but because the other rats that were in the site are better taken down with Scourge missiles, you know, kinetic damage missiles, I'm just going to keep those. And, well, you could actually change to electromagnetics, but, well, I wanted to see how fast we were going to be able to take him down. Oof, he is still giving us some good hits, so I think I'm going to start up changing my missiles to Mjolnir. Fortunately, this NPC doesn't heal himself. He doesn't recuperate armor, as far as I have seen. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, no, he does. Just a lot less than our man Dagon. So we shouldn't really have a problem with Dagon, and we shouldn't really have a problem with this guy with the missiles. You know, as long as he doesn't get a lot of those wrecking shots that were, well, they are impressive, to be honest. We are okay, even in the capacitor department, you know, as long as we can keep our Multispectrum shield Hardener on, we shouldn't have much of a problem. And I'm just going to finish up changing to the Mjolnir missiles. As you can see, he does heal up a little bit, but not that much, not enough for us to actually worry about him. And because we are kind of cap stable, well, we shouldn't really have any problems. And because of our orbit, he's only going to get his shots when he gets wrecking shots, so not that often. And that's, of course, a good thing. So, let's go ahead, dock back up. Which mission was this? 47 out of 52. So, I'm going to head back to the station, deliver this mission, and as soon as we get into the Dagon fight, I'm going to continue the recording. So, see you guys over there. So finally, we are moving on to the Dagon fight. I am in system, and let's go ahead and see how well we're going to do. I already have my rocket launchers and my Nova Rage rockets. So we are only going to have an 8,000 meter range. Of course, we want to keep him as close as possible. So let's go ahead and orbit him at 7500. Let's use that Afterburner as soon as possible. Let's start that Multispectrum shield Hardener. Come on. Actually, I think I'm going to orbit him at 2500 because he is really close to that structure right there. So we don't want to end up bumping with anything, and that's why we are going to want to be careful. So there we go, starting up the fight. And I am very probably going to end up speeding this part up a little bit, just because every time I run this fight, it takes a fairly good amount of time to actually finish the fight. So yeah, I think I'm going to speed this part up. So there we go. Dagan definitely went down. I would say a lot faster and a lot easier than some of the other ships that we have been flying. But yeah, and it only took us 1.5-ish rounds of rage rockets. Of course, we had 600, yeah, around 300 or some of that. I would recommend you take the 600. They are not that expensive, so there is no reason not to. So now that we are done with him, let's go ahead and finish up this epic arc. Of course, because I am trying to run level 3 missions for the next episode for you guys, I have gone for the Caldari state. So let's start up our conversation, complete the mission, request the mission, accept the mission, and let's go to the next location for the final mission. And yeah, deliver this epic arc so that you guys can see how much stuff we are actually going to get. Also, I have been getting these storyline agents that are really good throughout running the epic arcs. With this one, I have only gotten one, but with the other epic arcs that I have been running, I have gotten 2 or 3. However, they were the second or third time I actually ran the epic arcs, so maybe that has something to do with it. Now, I have a current standing of 1.54. Let's see how we do after delivering our man Dagan to the Caldari Empire. And of course, you can choose just about any empire that you want, but since I am trying to get to those level 3 missions as fast as possible, I'm going to be doing it for the Caldari Empire. And of course, remember that after 90 days, you can actually rerun the entire epic arc. That's the main reason why to get actually a fast little ship, a frigate, which is what I like using for the epic arcs. Because of course you can also run this in a destroyer. A lot of people do run this in destroyers, but I like being able to run them at just a little bit faster. And the frigate definitely reduces our travel time because, well, travel times are very, very large because we need to go from system to system, and there are some times where we need to travel around a lot. So yeah, let's warp to the location to complete our mission. And yeah, that's why I definitely do recommend you try this in frigates, although I like doing it in somewhat special frigates. That's why I use usually Navy frigates. And yeah, I have really, really enjoyed it. It's really nice. So let's get ready to deliver our final mission and see. Remember, we are at 1.54 standing. Start conversation, complete the mission. There we go. 1 million ISK for just this mission. Close the mission, and we are that much closer to our level 3s. So we technically got around half a point, so that reduces our mission running time for quite a lot. And since I am doing this for the corporate police force, we are still a little far away, but well, I can definitely get back into doing missions for them so that I can finally unlock the level 3s. So, guys, well, I'm going to start my journey back. Oof, 19 jumps. See what I mean? You have to go really, really far away, and that's why I really enjoy using a frigate for running these epic arcs. So, yeah, this has been the Caldari Navy Hookbill. Of course, we are entering the end of our Caldari side of the series. Please let me know if you have enjoyed the journey so far. I have really, really enjoyed making it. It's been really, really fun. So yeah, thank you also very much for watching. I am looking forward to seeing your comments about my editing because I hopefully have been getting better with the practice. I hope so. And about my microphone, I also hope so. And if you have any questions at all or anything you would like me to try in ships, any feats you would like me to attempt for any activities at all, as long as it's within my budget, I will be more than happy to do so. We are entering the end of our Alpha Life series, of our Empire series, so I'm going to be giving it a good amount of thought on what we are going to be taking the channel on, moving forward. So I would really appreciate a little bit of input from you guys and some good suggestions. So do let me know what would you like to see next. And thank you also very much for watching. This has been the Alpha Life, and I will see you all in the next one.